Good morning, and welcome to Naturally Kim's Knitting. I'm Kim, and I want to welcome everybody to this podcast about knitting and spinning and dyeing of yarn, all of which I do in my home right outside of Lima, Ohio. This is our 130th episode, and some of you have been with me from the beginning. Bless your hearts. And today is August 28th, and let's see what else. Oh, well, where can you find me at? Might as well get all this out of the way. Well, you can find me on Ravelry as Napier's Knits, and then our podcast group is Naturally Kim's Knitting. I want to invite anybody who has watched this on YouTube but haven't yet become a member of our group, join up. You know, if you post your finished objects every month in our finished object thread, you have a chance to win prizes. And I have giveaways. Same thing with any of our knit-alongs. But you do need to be a member. If you're not a member of the group, I can't give you the prizes. I'm sorry. That's the way it has to be, though. We do have some wonderful, wonderful creative people in our group. Okay, I was telling you where you can find me. You can also find me on Etsy. I have an Etsy store, and it's called NapiersKnit. I will be having a shop update showing the pictures of what I have at the end of this podcast. You can also find me on Instagram as knittin_Kim, and on YouTube, Blogger, and Wordpress, you can find me as Naturally Kim's Knitting. Okay, now I'm going to warn you before I go any further. My husband is off today, and he's off because he and a friend are going to be working on our roof. The friend hasn't gotten here yet, but I have a feeling once he does, my doggy's going to go crazy. So if I pause this or stop recording, that's why. I will pick it back up. He's due any time now. He's working on the roof, and if you've been with me for a while, I may have talked about how I've not had floors in my hallway or kitchen or downstairs bathroom for probably 2 to 3 years. He's trying to fix that too. I don't know how he's doing it, but bless his heart. Okay, so what kind of, you heard me talk about the finished object knit along. Well, I have a couple others that are going on right now too. But let me tell you, for the finished object knit along, for 1 through 10 entries, the winner is going to receive 1 skein of Vivacious 4-ply yarn in this beautiful green. Isn't that pretty? There's the tag. It's from Fiber States. Let's see, what else can I tell you about this? It's a 100% superwash merino, and it is beautiful, let me tell you. But this is going to be the first prize. I will let you know. Well, I could probably tell you now because I haven't had 10 people apply or put things forward in the other. Woo! I dropped my phone. Thank goodness it's in a nice case. Second prize, ooh, goodness, will be these 2 beautiful skeins, because we do have more than 10 winners right now. These 2 beautiful skeins of Rowan Baby Merino Silk DK. I forget the colors. This is called Cloud. And this, where did I find the name there? You know how that can be sometimes. Oh, Shell Pink. So they will win these 2. That will be the second prize. Because, like I said, I have more than 10 entries. I always do in the finished objects. Now, if I have more than 20 entries, the third winner will get, a pattern. So, I should tell you, these were donated by Fizona. Bless her heart. Thank you, Fizona. You're such a sweet person. Okay, so I also have Can Knits Pattern knit along. And to enter that, you just have to knit any pattern from Tin Can Knits. Now, we only have 2 more days in this, so I hope you've started. If you've started but not been able to finish, go ahead and post it. I'd like to see what you've done, and you'll still be eligible for a prize, which a prize is one of tin can knits patterns that have a price to them. They have so many that are free, but you know, they have to be giftable, and you know, they have a cost to them. That will be your prize. Okay, let's see. The next knit along that I have going on is for my own yarn, for Napier's Knits. Over the years, I've had giveaways with my yarn. I've had people purchase my yarn, and this is a place where I want to see your creative juices flowing and what you've created with the yarn that I've dyed. So this is your opportunity to put those items under that thread just so I can see, and the winner will receive one skein of my yarn of their choice. As long as I have it, they can have it as a prize. We've got some beautiful ones. I've been so surprised. They are so beautiful. I'm not surprised they're beautiful, but the way they're used and the way the yarn is showing up, oh my goodness. So let's see. And then September, just to give you a heads up, for those of you who haven't heard it the last couple weeks or whatever, starting in September, you need to go to Mila's, well before that, Mila's Knit Corners, and you need to purchase one of her patterns for either mitts or fingerless mitts. I believe she still has a coupon code where if you put thank you in there, you can get 50% off. If not, please let me know. Mila is such a creative designer. I wish I had it out here with me. I pattern tested a beautiful shawl. It was out of worsted weight yarn, so I wasn't sure how I would like it. Oh, I should have had no doubts. Mila is so creative. So we're going to be having that going on September, October, and we're going to be having our finished object one. I'm not doing a third one. I can't do 3 every month. So, let's see. It's time to talk about the stuff that is on my needles. Well, because it's right here, it's not been blocked yet, but it is finished knitting. This is that scarf that I made. And I don't know, can you see the kind of diamond or triangle pattern that I was doing on it? I have to block it yet, like I said. But, isn't this gorgeous? And this is one of those Corone cakes. I believe it was called Sweet Berries. It goes on. And it goes on. Sorry, the edge. I should have blocked it, but it's right now our kitchen's a mess and I can't set things up. Excuse me. Sorry, my husband's friend just showed up. So anyway, so this, and I had to dim the lights a little bit. I hope it's not too dark. But this is that scarf, and this is for the soup kitchen. But I just love this. It's worked up so nicely. I just have to block it, like I said, and then it will be perfect. Or as perfect as I can make. I usually have 1 or 2 mistakes in anything I make. But that was just a simple design. I'm so sorry that I came up with. Then, let's see. Where to go to next? Well, I'm on the soup kitchen. I might as well show you. I haven't finished the socks this week, but I love these. Sorry, it may be hard to smile during the rest of this. My puppy's gonna drive me to distraction. Anyways, I love the little swirls on these. This is just the pattern, a simple pattern I came up with. Nobody's expressed an interest. I might post it, I might not. Oh, it looked like there was a mistake in there. Anyways, so there was the one sock. How could there be a mistake of something of my own design, huh? Then here's the next. Those are for the soup kitchen. So I might get them finished this week. It depends. I am doing a pattern test right now that I cannot show you, but it's a shawl. I'm on the last couple rows, and of course those take a long time. And so I do not pick up my socks until I get to a stopping point on the shawl. So anyways, then after that I'm going to be starting another shawl pattern test for CC. Okay, so since I finished the scarf, I decided, I talked about my cousin Linda and how she donated all this yarn to me. And so since I finished, she was the one that taught me how to knit. I cannot think of Linda without smiling. Bless her heart. She is such a sweetheart. So I started another chemo cap. Not very far. I just started it and got about 5 minutes into it. Now this is Mainstays Crafts. It's a 4-ply worsted weight yarn, 100% acrylic, but it's not scratchy, so I'm thinking as a chemo cap it'll be okay. And this is in the soft burgundy color. And I thought this would be nice. I make so many hats that have a feminine tilt to them, and I thought this way, if a little boy needs a chemo cap, he can pick a color that doesn't say, you know, this lady only knows how to make girl caps or something. Okay, then, oh my goodness, I'm really out of order, but it's what's coming up with my desk. My Harley sweater. Not mine. My daughter's Harley sweater. Okay. I have got about 2 inches out of a 5-inch cuff done this week. Like I said on the other cuff, this is not, it's a pretty cable, but it's just tedious, and after a while I just want to put it down. So I decided not to stress myself, just to do it to that point and then stop. And so, you know, I'm not in a super hurry for it. But this is my daughter's Harley sweater. Isn't that pretty? I love it. I love the cable that goes down the side. I love the cable that goes down the arm. It's this is from Knit Picks Twist and Tweed book, and the pattern is called Harley, and it will look hopefully similar to that when I'm done. Oh, I should tell you what it's made out of, because I always forget. I have to look. It's made out of Plymouth Select DK Merino and Superwash, color 1017, and I'm using US 5 3.75 millimeter. What I love is you only have to use that size needle throughout. You don't have to change for any of it, so it's working out beautifully. Okay, my pattern for Spread Your Wings. This is a Christmas gift. I can't say for who, because they might be watching. But this is, I never know if you guys can see the pattern. It's called Spread Your Wings. If you see these little things here, those are supposed to be like the wings, and in the center is the body. And on the edges is the seed stitch, because to me, seed stitch reminds me of the ground, and spreading your wings, you're flying away from the ground. So I've got the heels done on both of these. I got the heels done on all 4 of my socks this past week. And I only got one of the socks out because I am in the same place on both of them, so they're identical. And this is just made out of yarn that I've dyed. So it's a Christmas gift. Can't say for who. It's a secret. Then, you know, my blind knitting that I started a couple weeks ago, because I wanted something to work on that I don't have to think about when I'm at church. And I really haven't made much progress on it. But it's from Gail's Art Hawaii sock blank. I love Gail's art. Her sock blanks are gorgeous. And then they knit up so beautifully. I mean, this is just stockinette stitch. But it was so funny because I told my husband, I said, I love socks that are made out of her sock blanks. I don't know, they just feel so nice. But since I have Christmas gifts to make, I go, should I make these a Christmas gift or should I keep them for me? He goes, well, why don't you make them for a Christmas gift? So taking my husband's advice, this is what the sock blank is knitting up as. And it will be a Christmas gift. Yay! Let's see, is that it? Sorry, I had to make a funny voice, don't know why. Socks, sweater, Got pair of socks, chemo cap. Hey! Oh, just a minute. I need to get something. So I had somebody ask me a question. They actually posted it, I think, last Wednesday. It was Fizona. Thank you, sweetie. She asked me, do you have a big box or bag of things you may need when knitting? I have a few small tins and a tape measure, stitch markers, a sewing needle, and a pair of scissors. And I put one of these tins in the bag with a new project when I started, along with a small notebook and pen. It sounds very organized, which I suppose it is, and it means I can concentrate on the knitting I'm doing. So, I didn't bring one thing over. I picked up, talking about papers, Knit Picks, this has been a couple years ago, had these cute little notebooks. You can tell mine's well used. In fact, I don't have knitting notes on this one page. I have notes for the rehearsal dinner. But I have like 3 of these. I have to get more. I don't know if they still have them or not, but I'm going to have to get more because these are almost gone. But I always have one of these, whether it's in my project bag I'm working on, if I'm taking it with me, or I keep 1 or 2 beside my chair. I'm almost always knitting on this one chair. The light's better and everything. Then, generally, this came out. It's a Twinings tea tin. And I have a couple of these. And in here, I keep my little zippity-doo-dah needles when they're not in use. I keep stitch markers. I keep little progress markers. There's some cable needles that will fit in here. Just little things like that. Then, for other needle sizes that I use quite a bit, this is going to look funny. I have this beautiful model. I have these real tall glasses, and I have 4 of them. And I went to clean up my area once, and I thought that would make a great, one of those tall glasses would make a great thing for me to store, like I said, needles I use a lot, scissors, ink pens, my pom-pom maker. There's even a couple more cable needles on here that hook over the edge. So yes, I like to use things I have around the house if I can to store things. It helps me from cluttering the counter space so much, and it helps me to stay more organized, knowing that if I need a stitch marker, I go to the tin. If I need a size 3 knitting needle, look in my cup first. I've tried other ways of organizing my needles. They just don't work, because if I need a needle in the middle of a project or something, I like to know that they're there. I also have a needle gauge that I keep in there too. So that's what I do. What do you guys do? Could you let me know underneath the show notes? Just tell me what kind of things you do to help keep your little odds and ends organized. I'd be interested to know. Now, I did receive an email this morning from Knit Picks. As you know, I'm an affiliate with them. If you click on the Knit Picks link in my show notes, not under the YouTube video, because I can't get links there, hyperlinks, but under WordPress, Blogger, or Ravelry, if you click on the link and you purchase something from Knit Picks, I get a couple pennies. It helps me pay for postage. It helps me pay for prizes and things like that. Well, they're on their last couple days of having a sale on their wool of the Andes. It's 100% superwash wool. They have both their bulky and their worsted weight on sale. Then they also are having a big 50% off, I want to say, favorite tools sale. And in there they have yarn bowls. One of these days I would love to have one. I have said this for a year and not done it yet, because I don't usually I spend the money on other things, like getting ready for a trip to the UK. Then they also have a yarn sale on all interchangeable needles. So check them out. Their sales are usually, I mean, I like their yarns anyways, but their sales just make it even better. I can't get any of their yarns right now. I have to talk with my husband about something because I might need to one of these days. Okay, so I did a book review this week. It's on a book called, just a second, Empty Seats by Wanda Adam Fishers. It's a baseball book, and it follows the story of three baseball players trying to work their way up through the minors while they are also dealing with life issues. It's a good book. It's written by a woman who loves baseball, kind of like I do. I don't make it to games, but I love baseball. And it's published by Spring Training Media. I just love that. Anyways, this is a book that I was given by Library Thing. And it was a good book. It's a very good book. And if you want to see my review, there will be a link on the show notes. You can check that out. Let's see, what else do I have to talk about today? Hooda, hooda, hooda. Yes, yes, yes. Sorry, my notes just kind of decided to switch around on me. Oh, I don't have a book to review this week. Anybody who might be interested in knit crates, oh my goodness, their next box will be going out soon. Exciting. I put the link, you can copy and paste the link that I put on the show notes for it, and you can receive so much money off of a subscription, a new subscription. You know, I've always bragged about the things I get from knit crates. I almost looked into another one, but I really can't be purchasing another one. Besides which, I can allow myself the knit crate box for the one skein of yarn, but if I bought another one, we're digging into my trip money too much. So now, to update you on my yarn, I did not bring it over with me today. This is my Genevieve Penelope. It's a 2-ply fingering weight. That's not a very good picture. It's got purples and pinks and reds. Purples and pinks and reds in it. And it's a variegated. It's superwash merino and nylon. All my yarns are $18. Then we have Cloudy Skies. Yeah, the colors are not ringing true on this. If you want to see a more accurate portrayal, you can look on my WordPress. I'll try to put them on Ravelry. It just doesn't always work. WordPress or Blogger show notes, and it should show up nicely. Then I also have Wildflower Fields. Yeah. Whoops. Sorry. And I still have Midnight Journey, and I'm not going to try showing them because they're just not showing up true to color. Midnight Journey and Tobias. In case you'd forgotten, Genevieve and Tobias are named after my grandchildren. Because Genevieve has all my well, when I made the yarn, those are all of her favorite colors. I don't know if she's changed or not, but they informed me that Tobias always goes towards blue things. So, anyways, I believe that's it for today. I think I've covered everything. Right now I'm just spinning some natural Shetland wool from my friend's Wool Buffy. But otherwise I'm really not doing much else spinning wise. I do have yarn that I've spun up for a shawl and yarn that I've spun up for my Genevieve sweater, but otherwise I think that's it. I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. And I hope you have a good week until we meet again. If you're doing any projects, I hope they go along smoothly with no mistakes. If you make mistakes, I hope they're easy to fix. Don't get frustrated. Just take a deep breath and go to fixing them. I love you all. Big, big hugs. And I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.